Coming up tonight on YCN News, Keene will hold an important meeting regarding the future of the Pumpkin Festival. And a tax increase may occur across Vermont. For more news and weather and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening and welcome to this Wednesday edition of YCN News. I'm Lynn Solomon. Even with over 6 inches of snow over our region, as thoughts now turn to winter, a meeting tomorrow night will bring us back to sights of bright orange pumpkins in October. That's because a public forum in Keene will focus on improving town-gown relations. Keene State College made international headlines for all the wrong reasons this fall. A handful of students at an off-campus site started a melee that led to police in riot gear using pepper spray on the same day as the city's annual Pumpkin Festival. Several students have been charged by police for their alleged role in the fracas. Court cases are pending, along with possible sanctions by college officials. Keene Mayor Kendall Lane and the City Council invite residents, property owners, and the public at large to discuss what happened the weekend of October 18th. And as important, how the city and college move forward as one community. The meeting begins at 6:30 p.m. at Keene State and is set for 2 hours. It will be held at the L.P. Young Student Center on Winchester Street. Funding for public schools anywhere is rarely an easy topic to discuss with taxpayers. Today in Vermont, Governor Peter Shumlin announced school spending across the state will increase by 3%. And with that, the need for a 2-cent tax increase per $100 valuation in both residential and non-residential statewide property rates. State Education Secretary Rebecca Holcomb and Vermont Tax Commissioner Mary Peterson met with Shumlin and other state leaders to discuss the link between school spending and property tax rates. Property values are higher this year than last, Peterson says. That's why the fiscal year 2016 tax increase reflects a higher amount, but not as great as fiscal year 2015. Shumlin realizes that any increase in school taxes is not a bright spot for homeowners. Yet the governor also says that property taxes alone are not the single source for school funding. Income taxes, sales and motor vehicle excise fees, and lottery sales proceeds also fund school spending. As student enrollment declines, Shumlin says the challenge is to tackle school spending instead of shifting the tax burden to different sources. When YCN News returns, we'll bring you more news.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Lynn Solomon. Almost all PSNH customers in New Hampshire will have a story to tell about this year's Thanksgiving Eve snowstorm. Some people made it through the storm with lights on. Many others did not, with about 300,000 PSNH customers left in the dark. PSNH wasn't the only utility company that lost power on a busy cooking day. New Hampshire Electric Cooperative also did, about 23,000. Unitil also reported outages. PSNH is the state's largest electric utility company. All customer service to homes, businesses, and schools was expected to be back on this morning, notes the PSNH website. When YCN News returns, we'll look at my interview with Julie Demakis, General Manager of the New London Inn.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Lynn Solomon. Let's join Matt McDonald for a look at weather and sports.
Thanks, Lynn. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low around 17 degrees. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high near 30 degrees. Tuesday night there will be a chance of snow before 4 a.m. Then sleet is likely, possibly mixed with snow. Wednesday may bring freezing rain and sleet likely before 10 a.m. Then rain is likely. Highs will be near 44 degrees. Wednesday night may bring showers before 7 p.m. Otherwise there will be mostly cloudy skies. And now let's take a look at our community calendar. Tomorrow, Brattleboro will hold its select board meeting at 6 p.m. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. Turning to sports, there were some big games from the Manchester Monarchs over the holiday weekend. Friday night, the Monarchs faced Bridgeport at the Verizon Wireless Arena. After a close struggle between two teams, the Monarchs came out on top with a 3-2 win. The game went into overtime and Manchester's Nick Dowd made the winning goal just 8 seconds into the beginning of overtime. Saturday's game was a different story as the Monarchs fell to opponent Springfield 4-1. Colin Miller put the Monarchs in the game with his power play goal. The Monarchs will play next in a back-to-back game on December 6th and 7th against Norfolk. This will be a home game.
Thanks, Matt. When we return, we'll join Capital Connections' John O'Connor.
The YCN News continues in a moment.